Hello, I'm Zippy Duvall. I'm president of American Farm Bureau, but I'm also the host of Farmside Chat. I'm coming back in home here in Georgia late last night from spending 2 weeks in Washington, D.C., doing what we do each and every day, trying to make sure that farmers and ranchers' voices being heard in Washington, D.C. on Capitol Hill and at USDA and other places with the administration. But I really had a unique opportunity this week, and that was to attend an honor flight that was put together by Anheuser-Busch of veterans of war to come to Washington and be able to see the monuments that are built around Washington that recognizes them for their service and their sacrifices that they made in wars that have kept our country free. Never can do enough to repay those veterans, but it sure was a joy to be able to be there, shake their hand, talk to them personally, and listen to some of them's story. And to be able, Anheuser-Busch to bring them in and give them that opportunity was just an awesome, awesome day that I got to spend with them. So also this morning, I took a little time for my family and got to go to see a preschool graduation and listen to young people sing and talk about Jesus, and it was a lot of fun to do that this morning. So I come back in here to go to work and do this podcast, and we got a really special treat today. I travel America and talk to farmers and ranchers and use this podcast to help everybody understand what our farmers and ranchers are doing each day. We're going to back away from that a little bit today, and we're going to talk about a contest that we put on at American Farm Bureau. It's called the Farm Dog of the Year. And our two guests today is our great partner and sponsor. It comes from Nestle Purina Pet Care. And her name is Nicole Postin. And the owner of the Dog of the Year of 2020 is Beth Crandall. And we are proud to have both of them here to be our guests today to talk about not just the contest, but talk about Flint and his life on the ranch. As I travel the country, I bump into these people that work out on the farm and work with farmers, and I get to tell their story. And it's just awesome to hear the stories of our farmers and the people that partner with us, that supply us with things for us to be able to keep our farmers going and keep the farms going and keep them sustainable. But today, we're going to back away from that a little bit and just talk about the Farm Dog of the Year contest. And today we have with us Nicole Postin, who is Nestle Purina Pet Care representative. And she's going to be with us to talk about the contest. And then the 2020 winner, the owner of Flint, who was the winner that year, Beth Crandall. And we are Crandall, I'm sorry. We have both of them here, and she's from Utah. And I just recently found out that she's also a vet student. So congratulations on that, because we don't have enough vets around the country. So we really appreciate you doing that. By the way, my son is a veterinarian. So
Very cool. I didn't know that actually.
yeah, he is. He specializes in large animal genetics. Does a lot of embryo work and all over the eastern seaboard and down into Florida and Alabama. So
Wow.
it's he stays really busy. So we hope that you become a great vet, because there's a lot of people out there that need it. So I want to talk about the contest a little bit. Nicole, I want to turn to you to start off with. I want to first say to you and your company, your great company, what a great partnership this has been, to be able to highlight the dogs of our farm that are, a lot of time part of our family, but also very good work hands that work along beside us each and every day. And I think Flint's going to fit in that category. So tell us what you think the judges are looking for when they come to judge this contest.
Certainly. So we know that farm dogs are unique in that they have an incredible connection to their owners, but they also have important jobs. So this is the 5th year of Farm Dog of the Year, and each year we have a great panel of judges who are looking for a combination of how the dog enriches life on the farm or the ranch, any jobs they may have, as well as their overall health. At Purina, we believe people and pets are better together, so we're really looking for the farmer or rancher and the dog's relationship that speaks to that.
Beth, tell us why you thought Flint was was a material that could win this kind of contest?
Well, I've had Flint since he was a little puppy, and of course, growing up ranching, we've had lots of dogs in our life, and they've all been special in their own way. But
Mm-hmm.
Flint definitely has stood out to me as a very special dog ever since he was a puppy. He's very smart and intuitive when he's working on the ranch. And he has a very special connection with me. It's almost like he can read what I want before I even have to say it. So he's been pretty special to us. And had a really good connection with me since I was young and since he was young. So
What I saw the video that was done about you and your husband. Your husband's name Rhett, and
yes,
y'all were working the dog. The video was great. It's really awesome. But what surprises me, he really didn't go to the farm until he was 7 years old. I mean, that really surprised me, and uh, how evident the instinct to do what he does was born in him rather than being taught that. That's pretty cool. A
yeah,
lot of people have dogs for companions. Like I said, I had one when I was younger. It was called Red Fox. It was an Irish setter, and somebody stole Red Fox from me, and I missed that dog something terrible. He loved riding the back of the truck, and his ears would flop in the wind, and he was just a friend. But then later on in life, when I was in the dairy business, I had a blue heeler, and her name was Lady, and she was kind of like Flint. She'd sleep on the back door stoop, and at 2:30 every morning when I walked out the door, she was standing there looking up at me, wanting me to say it's time to go. And she took off, and she'd take off down through the pasture and bring cows up, and while I was getting the barn ready to milk. And she was an amazing dog, and lived to be 18 years old. So I
wow.
miss her. I miss her a lot because she was a good friend. So Nicole, tell us a little bit about what do you think this contest does to help people understand agriculture better?
Yeah, this contest is great for connecting both sides of the supply chain. We know that pet ownership is a common bond, as we just shared here. We've all got those bonds, and it crosses all industries and all walks of life. So Farm Dog of the Year really helps build that connection, the shared value of pet ownership, which we hope can ultimately build trust and open the door for future dialogue between consumers, farmers, and ranchers about food and farming and the industry.
Yeah, and that's really something we strive to do each and every day because a lot of people get their information from sources that aren't really qualified to give that information. And if they come into a conversation with a farmer or a rancher like Beth and her husband with an open mind, they can walk away with a total different uh, perception and also a lot of appreciation for what they do. Beth, tell us a little bit about a day in the life of Flint.
Well, Flint's actually 14 now, so he's mostly retired. So a day in the life of him is getting to lay around these days. But back in his prime, we run about 600 mother cows, and our summer ground is actually in Wyoming, and our winter ground is in Utah. And so Flint does a lot of traveling around with us in the truck, back and forth to our different ranching operations. We do a lot of moving cattle through the pastures, so we do a rotational grazing system, and so Flint is an integral part of helping us move the cattle from pasture to pasture. We do a lot of corral work, so we run all of our cattle through the corrals, through the chutes, so that they can get vaccinated, so we can check teeth to check the ages of them. We preg check them periodically. So Flint helps with that every day, whether we're sorting through our cows and our calves. And Flint does a really good job of making sure that we work our cattle in a very low stress way, which is very important to farmers and ranchers. We don't want our cattle to be stressed out and high strung and worried all the time, because then they're more likely to get sick and they have lower gains and are less likely to get pregnant and stuff like that. So Flint really, really helps us do that. He's great at sorting through the corral. He's great at gathering large pastures. He helps us find cattle if they're buried in the willows, which they like to hide in. He's really good at going in there where we can't personally go as people on foot or on horseback. So that's mostly what Flint does on the ranch. At home, he loves to hang out with our family. He's an indoor, at our feet all the time type of dog. We also recently had we have a baby, so we have a little 1-year-old girl, and he's become our babysitter. So he's great with that as well.
So I saw on the video where you had 2 younger dogs that Flint was kind of training. How did that work out?
It's been great. That's actually something that we do a lot on the ranch is we try to pair our younger dogs with an older, more experienced dog. And Flint's really, really good at training our younger dogs because he just has a very calm demeanor when he's working livestock, and younger dogs tend to be a little bit excited and they want to go really get after the stock. So he kind of shows them that we like to work the stock in a calm manner. We like to keep the whole herd together and not split any off. So he's done a really, really good job training our younger dogs.
Yeah. You know, a lot of people don't believe me when I tell them that Lady would go down and get my cows up. But when I was training her, she had such an instinct to bite their heels that sometimes she'd make the cows' legs bleed a little bit. So I'd fuss at her a little bit. She was smart enough to know that she needed to put something in her mouth to fight that instinct. So every time I'd send her off to get the cows and she'd come back to the barn, she'd lay a dirt clod or a stick or something at my feet. And that was to tell me, you can go shut the gate now. They're all in the lot. And it was really, really, and at the end of the week, I'd have to pick all these things up she'd bring into the pit where I milked the cows at. And it was really funny. So are people surprised when you tell them the talents that Flint has?
Definitely. I know a lot of people who do quite a bit of the dog herding trials that they do with them,
Mm-hmm.
and we've only done that a tiny bit. But Flint doesn't have all that training. I mean, he doesn't know what come by and away and all that means. He just purely works off of instinct, and I think that a lot of people think that that's really surprising. He walks in and kind of evaluates the situation and sees what we're doing with the cattle, and he just steps in and helps us like another ranch hand. And I think that that really surprises people that he's able to do that. Or I can point to something, and if cattle are doing something and I point a direction and he immediately goes that direction and does what I need him to do without me telling him anything. So it's purely instinct, and I think that that's something that's really, really neat about these dogs that are bred to be working dogs is they have so much of that natural instinct in them. So
Well, Lady was the same way. Nobody really trained her other than me, and I'm not a dog trainer. But if she happened to
yeah.
miss one at the end of the milk, and I'd walk down, and if I could see the cow, I'd say, "Lady, you missed one," and before I could get it out of my mouth, she was gone to go get that one she missed. So she was pretty amazing too. So lot of help. So Nicole, I think this is the third or fourth. I think Flint was the second one that won. 2019 was the very first. Woody was his name or her name, and then
Yep.
Flint was
Yes.
2020. So, what do you see? What characteristics do you see or qualities you see out of both dogs? And now we've had another couple of winners since then.
Yeah, so we've had 4 total winners, and we're working on the fifth. The last 4 years winners, we've consistently seen all of the dogs in the top 10, not just the winners. The main thing that's been notable is that strong bond with their owner. Beth, I believe in your video you even mentioned that it just really was kind of a once-in-a-lifetime relationship. And I know our most recent winner in her video even talked about how she really felt like she was a kindred spirit with her dog. And so we consistently see those dogs have those really strong bonds, and then they're well cared for, and they engage in some type of work on the farm. We don't have a set criteria of what those jobs are by any means. It's just that they are involved on the farm. And we've heard countless times from people who've seen the farm dog videos that they've sparked some emotion in them, and it really speaks to those relationships the dogs have with their owner, and that's what we're looking for each year.
Beth, do you have to take any special medical care or food or anything that Flint needs, or because I saw where y'all work in the cold a lot and different types of weather, does he get any special treatment, or is he like most dogs? We take care of them the best we know how, and they normally thrive on their own.
So I've always fed my dogs Purina Pro Plan. So kind of being part of the veterinary world, I am up to date, I guess, on pet nutrition, and I try to follow those guidelines as best as I can. Um, when my dogs are younger, I typically feed them the Pro Plan Sport. It's a pretty high protein diet, and I feel like it gives them enough energy and stamina to get through our long, hard, cold, or hot days. And then now that Flint's older, he actually eats a senior diet. So he eats the one that kind of helps with his neuro care is what he actually eats right now. So kind of helps him keep a bright mind as he's getting older. So.
Well, good for you, Beth, because I probably didn't do so good because Lady usually ate what I ate, even to the extreme that, farmers always working. And sometimes I had to ride to
Mm-hmm.
town to pick something up to finish the afternoon work, and I'd grab something. And of course, the only place in town was a McDonald's. And Lady, she would actually lay in my floorboard of my truck and cry, physically cry, if I didn't get her a hamburger. And I said, "Well, you did go get the cows this morning, so I go back there and get her a hamburger." So you probably taking better care of Flint than I took care of Lady. But it was
Well, it obviously worked.
yeah, she
If
was
she lived to be 18, it obviously
yeah,
worked. So.
something worked, huh? So tell us a little bit about the contest, Nicole, and what do the prizes look like, and if you know the deadline for this year, and maybe tell our listeners
Yeah.
how they might could nominate their dog or someone's dog.
Yeah, so the winner will take home a $5,000 cash prize. They also get a trophy plate. We also will have up to 4 regional winners, and they will also receive the trophy plate and the basket, as well as a $1,000 cash prize. And so you can go, Farm Bureau members can go to the Farm Bureau website at any time and answer some questions about their dog and jobs their dog may have, their relationship, any activities or hobbies they have with their dog not farm related, as well as any awards, special skills the dog may have. And we also love to see any photos or videos that you might have handy as well. You can do that all the way up through July 1st. So still lots of time, and we are really excited to see where we land this year.
Yeah. Well, there's another part of the contest too, and it's called the People's Choice Pup. Can you tell them about that?
Yeah, People's Choice Pup is really fun for us as it allows us to put the decision in the hands of actual farmers and consumers alike, all who love pets. People's Choice part of the People's Choice Pup part will start in October, and everyone will be invited to vote via the Farm Bureau's Facebook page for their favorite dog, and that's where the top 10 dogs of the contest of the year will be, and you can go in and just vote for your favorite. So People's Choice Pup, along with the farm dog, will be announced in January at the annual convention.
And the annual convention this year is going to be in Puerto Rico.
Nice sunny Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
We are looking forward to it.
Yeah, so we hope all our Farm Bureau members out there will come and see their national organization have their annual convention and come to some of the really great breakout sessions that we do and hear some of the great speakers that we bring along with us. But I'll tell you, even though this contest is only 4 years old and going on a 5th year, the popularity of it has really, really grown, and we've been just so appreciative of our partnership with you and your company, Nicole, and how much fun it's been and how much people have enjoyed it. So, Beth, if somebody wants to nominate their dog or somebody else, you got any advice for them? Everybody wants to hear from the winner.
I I say just do it. I I like to take videos and pictures of my dogs when they're working, and I think it's kind of a cool way to kind of document what you do with your dogs. And it's really not that much work for what you're getting out of it. So you have to do the application, which, as Nicole said, is just a few questions, and then just kind of tell your story, which is what we're always told to do in Farm Bureau. Tell your dog's story and how you use your dog and how they're utilized on the farm or ranch. And it's a fun process to go through. It's fun to kind of go through and reflect it, and it's just not a ton of work, and it's way worth it. It's fun to do. You talked about how this is kind of spread. We kind of laughed because a lot of places we go, people are like, "Oh, you're Flint's owners," and it's kind of made us a little bit of a celebrity because of our dog. So we're now officially Flint's owners. That's our new title, is being Flint's owners. And it's just been a really, really cool way to share our story both with consumers and producers. I get a lot of people that ask me about how utilizing dogs on the ranch can help lower the stress in cattle and can help lower your overhead costs as a producer. And I just think it's really, really cool to let people know and have a little bit of an insight into the ranching lifestyle. I mean, that video kind of lets them see what we do on a daily basis into our life. And I think that it's really neat to allow people to do that and kind of give them an insight of where their food comes from and how it's produced. So it's kind of a twofold thing. I get to brag on my dog, and I got a really cool video out of him, and I get to share with consumers where their food comes from and how we produce it.
You know, I would agree it lowers the stress level on the cattle, but it really lowers the stress level on you too, I'm sure, because that cow's running off over and you got to go get it, and he goes and gets it and you don't have to. That's a lot less stressful.
Yep.
So maybe it's
I always have
helps our mental health, I'm sure.
It definitely does. You know, we have a cool story that I like to tell about Flint. Where our heifers are is kind of becoming a very urbanized area in Utah. So we have a lot of houses around our pastures. And one Sunday morning, my husband got a call that the heifers were out.
Always on Sunday. Always.
On a Sunday morning. Always on a Sunday. Always. And so we went and got them, and we had about 150 replacement heifers that were out. And of course, those girls are a little bit crazy when they see freedom. They're going fast. Yeah. And so my husband and the policeman were standing by the gate talking, and the heifers had taken off running towards the highway and the houses. And I literally just pointed to Flint and said, "Get them." And he took off after these heifers that were running full speed and stopped the entire herd, turned them back, and put them back in the pen within about 5 minutes. And we all just stood there. None of us did a single thing. So they really do lower your stress level. That could have turned into a mess if we had 150 heifers running like crazy all over the neighborhoods and the highways.
It's amazing what
150
heifers would do to landscaping.
Oh yeah. We've had that happen before. So.
Yeah, me too. But I don't understand why fences always break on Saturday night when they get ready to get out on Sunday morning. So it just happens. So
yep.
my wife and I were looking at your video, and Kansas took me on a horse ride and worked some cattle. And I'm coming to Wyoming. Would you put me on a horseback and let me work some cattle with you?
Oh, definitely. You would be invited out to the ranch anytime.
It'd have to be dead broke now because I'm too old to ride a rambunctious horse.
Don't worry, we got plenty of those. Yep, it's fun. It's beautiful, beautiful country out there.
From the video, it looked like beautiful country, and it is. And I am coming back to Wyoming and Montana this, I think it's August or September this year. So we may be calling you. I don't know if I'll be in your neighborhood.
You definitely should. We'll be there I actually have a break from vet school in September, and we're going to be home working cows, so you got to come out.
I may end up being there. Nicole, you got anything else you'd like to add about our partnership and the contest?
Sure. You know, Purina, we really love the fun recognition this contest brings to farming and pet ownership. Farm dogs, like we said, often play that dual role as both working dogs and companion animals. You know, you mentioned the stress of the cows being out, but they also just, you know, kind of off the farm, or, you know, when the day kind of ends, you know, and you're able to relax with them, they really do just kind of add that bond. And so we would love to invite everyone to nominate your dog, or if you don't have one, you know, nominate or encourage your neighbor to nominate their dog. Watch the past winners videos like Beth and Flint's. They're great videos to really see how much fun and love, in addition to the work they can do, that dogs and pets can add to the farm.
So I got to tell you that we traded out. I didn't get another dog because I stay on the road so much, but I did get my new wife a pet.
Oh, I can't quite.
Looks like a
Jersey cat.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
So she's walking the Jersey cat. Her name's Lucy. And Lucy thinks she's a dog. But
you're easing back into dairy, it seems.
Well, maybe. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe it might do that. Beth, we want to congratulate you and Flint. We want to congratulate Flint and his owner. Beth.
That's who I am, Flint's owner.
For winning the contest, and I want to thank both of you for joining me today. So here at the Farmside Chat, we're just proud and had a great conversation with Nicole and Beth, and we just appreciate y'all joining us. And Nicole, please tell the people in your company how much we appreciate their partnership, because it does bring a lot of fun and enjoyment and awareness to agriculture.
Oh, well, we thank you for letting us be a part of it, because without farmers, we wouldn't be where we are. So, thank you.
Oh, is Flint going to show up?
Flint wanted to say hi.
Hey,
Flint. Look at that.
Yeah.
Say hi.
Hey, Flint.
He says, I don't know what we're looking at.
Yeah. Some old bald man in the screen.
He says, what are we doing?
I love it.
Thank y'all so much. I enjoyed the conversation, and I know that our listeners will enjoy it. I will tell you, most of our listeners aren't farmers. Most of them are urban people, and they enjoy learning about agriculture, and I know they're going to enjoy hearing Flint's story. So thank y'all, and I hope you have a good weekend and rest of the day, and God bless you.
Thank you, and thank you for Purina and Farm Bureau for doing this. So
it's fun. We just appreciate you participating.
Thanks for having us.
To all that's listening to the Farmside Chat, we thank you for joining us, and I want you to like us and tell everybody about our podcast, so that other people can learn more about America's farmers and ranchers and how hard they're working to make sure that your pantries can be full for your families. God bless you. Thank you for joining us for this episode of Farmside Chat. Please be sure to subscribe so that you never miss an episode. And while you're at it, take a minute to rate and review the podcast. This helps us continue to bring you farm fresh content that everyone can enjoy. Until next time, thank you and God bless you.